His name is Matlomula Morake, and he's the man who keeps the eye on everything that's got to do with women's sports. Clocks and clocks, good evening and welcome to Power Sport, Matala.
Matala, good evening. How are you?
I haven't changed. I have no plans of changing. I remain black and proud.
Oh, good to hear. Good to hear.
The CAF Women's Champions League, the COSAFA qualifiers draw, the road to glory starts now.
Yeah, Matala. We've been waiting for this. The draw has been done, and we know that Sundowns, they've been drawn against Ndopwa of Malawi, against Zescondola Girls of Zambia, and Beauties FC of Namibia. Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at the two teams, rather Beauties, Beauties is they're making their debut in this tournament, which is quite interesting, along with Zescondola Girls. From Zambia. They're making their debut in the tournament, but that could be your banana peel. And also, bear in mind that Sundowns has not covered themselves in glory in this tournament, at least in the last tournament, which was the CAF Champions League, when they played in this tournament. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how they actually do things. But if you look at the rest of the field, you'll see that it's actually three groups where you see that in Group B, you've got Gaborone United, who finished second last year, losing to South Africa's University of Western Cape, which is the UWC.
Yes.
And then they are pitted against the Young Buffaloes of Eswatini, Kick for Life, Women's Football Club of Lesotho. They're also making their debut. And then in Group C, you've got Herentals Queens from Zimbabwe. You've got Olympic de Moroni from Comoros. And then you've got Club de Sportos da Costa do Sol from Mozambique. So 10 teams this time around. It's a record. Previously it was 8, and now there's 10 teams. But now the 10 teams mean only the top two, or rather only the top team will make it to the next round, which is the semis. And then you get to face also the best runner-up.
Yeah.
Now here lies the challenge. If you're in Group A, you've got which is Sundowns in this case, you've got a good chance of meeting a less strong team, which gives you almost a clear path to the final.
Sure.
But you have to do your homework. And then B and C, only the top two go through, so which means that's going to be a battle and a half.
Indeed, I see that Koltri Sapula, the Sundowns ladies coach, has admitted that they've been placed in a tough group. But speaking of Sundowns, folks, the ladies announced the signing of the UWC star, Ronelle Donnelly. Please tell us about this.
This came as a surprise to many. Donnelly has been playing football for quite a while now. Her mother played for a team in KZN called Shooting Stars.
Yes.
In fact, she was born in Wentworth, and she's studying now was studying at UWC, that's in the Western Cape. Mm-hmm. But now, due to this move, which was announced earlier this afternoon, she's moved to Kloorkop. She'll be wearing the gold of Mamelodi Sundowns ladies. So quite a good acquisition for them. If you bear in mind that they've just lost their recognized number 9, which is the Andisium Toy, who's been let go by the team. So I expect her to at least get game time because she's a very recognized number 9. She's got the build, she's got the potential. I just hope that she gets a chance to actually play in the tournament because most players, when they leave their teams and go to Sundowns, they play for 1-2 games and then you see them sitting on the bench. So I hope for her sake she gets to play so that she can also be able to help them with the upcoming COSAFA, or rather CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifier, as well as the CAF Champions League should they qualify for that.
And then still on signing clocks, 2 South Africans starting a new life in the US of A. Who are these ladies?
Yeah, that's this is good news for some of us who are involved in women's football who are in this space. There's a player called Khusitang Motshekwe. She was at vet. She's played under 17 national team. She's also played under 20. And then she's been joined by Adriel Mibe. I think she's more known than Khusitang. Adriel Mibe was at UJ. She's got a sister there. They play together at UJ. But now she's going to both players, rather, Khusitang and Adriel are going to study in the US of A. They have joined Arizona State University yesterday. They were basically unveiled by the college, and they'll also be studying, which is quite interesting. So it helps to see that our players are not just sitting at home, or rather not playing at home and not venturing out there. So it's going to be quite interesting. I mean, they're following in the footsteps of the likes of Jermaine Soposini, who also went to the USA, Kaden Swartz, who also went to the USA, and now they are stalwarts in the Banyana setup. So I'm hoping that this is also a path for them to say, if we don't find a bigger and better club in the USA, I think we can still come back home and deliver some goods.
Now that you've mentioned Banyana, you were with them in Morocco. We went with high hopes of defending our title. We could not even make the bronze medal as we finished the fourth. And now we are on a 2-month break, clocks, returning to action in September with the COSAFA Women's Championship and the WAFCON 2026 qualifier in October. What can we expect there?
Yeah, a lot can happen in 2 months, eh? But what I can say is that there's the COSAFA Cup coming up, COSAFA Women's Championship coming up in September, that is next month. And then following that in October, there's the big one, the clash against the DRC, which is a WAFCON 2026 qualifier. Now, and I get this, the WAFCON 2026 qualifier, or rather qualifier, is a very huge tournament this time around, because if you don't make it there, it means you don't stand a chance of going to Brazil in 2027 for the FIFA Women's World Cup. So you must first qualify, which is against DR Congo home and away. And then after that, you go to the tournament, which is in March next year, just around the corner. And then when you get there, you need to at least finish in the top 4 to make it to Brazil 2024. So it's a crucial time for Banyana. Even though they're on a break, on a 2-month break, it's going to be crucial to see what happens next. Some of the players that were there, will they still return? Also, when you look at the COSAFA, which comes before the WAFCON qualifier, which players are going to be used? Are they going to use regular players, or are they going to use players that they're going to ease into the proper Banyana team? So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens in the next 2 months in the Banyana space.
And lastly, clocks, as we wrap up, the Hollywood Bet Super League will be continuing this weekend, right?
That's correct. And all full fixtures will be played. In fact, for the first time in a very long time, all fixtures will be played in one day, which is on Sunday. So I won't go through everything, all the 8 fixtures, because there are 16 teams. But the most interesting one for me would be how Sundowns fares, because Sundowns has not been doing so well in the league. I mean, they lost to JZW before the WAFCON, and then they came back with a 1-0 draw against UWC, and they managed a 2-0 win against their neighbors, University of Pretoria. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play against Durban Ladies. Now, this is a top and bottom battle.
Yes.
Durban Ladies has not won a match in 16 matches. So they slowly running out of time and defending their status. So if they don't get anything this time around this weekend against Sundowns, it's going to be quite problematic for the Durban ladies to see if they'll still be in the league next year. But also an interesting one would be obviously TS Galaxy against the Copper Bells, because TS Galaxy is also right there at the top, they said, after TUT. So those 3 teams, TUT, or rather Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, TUT, and then TS Galaxy, it's going to be quite interesting to see what results they get, because that talks to who will win the league at the end of the season. And at the bottom, the battle is also raging, because the other ladies, as I said, they bottom of the standings. And then we've got the Royal AM that's second from bottom. So the KZN teams are not doing so well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens this weekend.
On that note, you know what to do. We've been giving you a lot of time. We've given you a lot of time to recover from the traveling. You must come to studio next week. Do what you have to do.
Power FM Sport Extra, Johannesburg.